Sagittarius rising, welcome here to Soul Passages Astrology. I am so thrilled that you guys chose to join me for your March eclipse report. This is a super exciting time right now because so much is going on in the universe. We are going to be having a big total solar eclipse on March 8th in the evening to March 9th. And this is going to have a huge impact in your fourth house. And, the actual events may not really happen right on those days because they are such game changers in our life. You could see the events unfold a couple weeks before the eclipse or a couple weeks after. But whatever shakes out is likely to impact your life for 6 months to a year. So it's a pretty big deal. And if I could give you one bottom line message for this eclipse season, it is for you guys to bring forth who you really are. Okay? Just remember that. Bring forth who you really are. And the reason I say that is because that fourth house is kind of like the beast of the belly. It's like your internal fire, right? A place where you stoke things, just like your hearth and home. This is like your internal heat, and you've got so much brewing down there alchemically. And so I just see so many of you guys saying, I am going to birth a new me. A lot of you guys have been working for the corporate beast for many, many years. And some of you have proven yourselves over and over again, and you've been waiting for results of those efforts, and you haven't been seeing it, and you're saying, you know what? It's time to try Sag version 2.0. And you are going to reach deep into your soul, and you are going to find a way to make sure that what is on the inside gets expressed on the outside. And probably for a lot of you don't really care so much about the money, am I right? It's more about having that spirit shine out onto the world. And so this fourth house is like a big incubator for you right now. Not only does it represent, a physical home, sometimes place of birth, but for a lot of you around eclipse time, you are actually going to make a big move around March 8th or 9th, again within a couple weeks of that. I am going to be one of those people. I'm flipping my house right now. I'm downsizing, and I'm doing it so that I can be who I am meant to be. And I've already told my realtor, when the house is going to sell, give or take a little bit. I know when I'm showing up, and I'm going to Utah. And the reason I'm doing that is because whatever your home is so important for you because it's your roots. And you need to have your roots in a place where you feel nurtured, where you feel safe, where you feel in touch with nature. I'm in the urban jungle right now, and I want to smell sagebrush. I want to hike in slot canyons. I want to go up desert washes. I told you a couple months ago I rebooted my life to save my soul, and literally I did. And I went back to Utah, hiked for 2 months, and said, you know what? It's time to get back to nature, get back to who I really am. And some of the best outdoor churches in the world exist in Utah. So I'm so excited. And I hope you guys are choosing a perfect place as home as well. Now that fourth house also relates to parents, parenting. And when you think of home, another thought that comes to my mind is our physical bodies, right? Because it is the vehicle or the house that houses our soul. And so a lot of you guys are thinking, how can I better take care of this physical body? And you may be trying to figure out a way, how can I make a living and still keep my health in good shape? What can I do to just improve things in that whole area? And because of all the planets lined up down there in the fourth house, you might also be thinking of yourself more on a soul level and also wanting to heal things from the past, from your ancestry, so that if you have baggage that you've carried along as a soul over the eons, that you can move forward with a lighter luggage. And Saggies, well, maybe a backpack, let's say that, instead of luggage. And you want a lighter backpack. And that's great, because the more you can clear things out, the brighter we can all shine. Am I right? So now that we kind of understand what's on the shakedown, and it is going to be a shakedown, because change of this scale, it can be very scary. It is like shedding an old skin and becoming a completely different creature, right? And snakes, when they do that, they get kind of a milky eye, and everybody knows, you don't mess with snakes, especially if they got the milky eye, because they can't see, so they're a little more tense and nervous. And there's a lot of Saggies out there that are a little tense and nervous right now, because they're in that process of molting. They're shedding. They're letting go of what was, and they are trying to birth something really amazing right now. And I'm calling you guys forth because the world needs us to be our powerful, soulful selves. And not all jobs allow for that. Now, some jobs, I've been very blessed. I've had some jobs where I got to be who I was meant to be, even in the corporation, right? Not always, though. And some jobs, your soul just disappears. It's like your light goes under a bushel barrel. And a Saggy can only do that for so long. So you are actively trying to birth a new you, and it's super exciting. And I'm thrilled to help you with this process. So now we kind of know what's stewing in the fourth house. Let's take a look at the planetary lineup. We've got Mercury, Neptune, an asteroid or dwarf planet called Ceres. We've got the sun, the moon, Chiron, the wounded healer, and the south node of the moon. And all of these are in Pisces. So this is a very watery house. This is a very emotional house. This is a soul-filled house. And of course, that's why you want to find a soul-filled house for yourself, whether that's your own body and developing some spiritual practices so you feel more like a soul, or just finding a place that you can connect with nature. That would be very huge. For some of you, that will be by the sea, whatever makes you feel comfortable and at home. But you've got all of these planets lined up down there. The south node of the moon is retrograde, so that again makes me think of things coming forward from the past. So great time to consider meditation and hypnotic states and things like that, if you need to do any clearing of the old house, so that, out with the old spirits in with the new, so to speak. You also have that Mercury, that planet of communications down there. And so, you're going to be reaching out to friends as you shed your skin. And you need to have soul-filled talks with people. You need to share your emotions and your fears. And, talk to people who love you, can support you and nurture you as you go through this transformation. So you've got Pisces down there. You also have Neptune, and that is the higher octave of Venus. And it has a very, divine and otherworldly feeling to it. And again, I come up with the idea of soul here. It's a desire to do something more soul-filled. Now, for some of you, since the two planets are sitting next to each other, you may be confused at this time. Neptune can be famous for kind of making things foggy, kind of making things unclear, not quite sure how to proceed. And all I can say is the best thing for you guys to do is to listen to your spirit, okay? Right now, the universe is really calling you to marry your will with divine will and listen to your spirit and birth that. Okay, and again, you may have several versions of that work for you, but you're going to need to birth something that comes from deep inside the belly that sounds right to you, where you're going to be able to contribute to the world in a meaningful way while being true to yourselves. And it's brilliant. So that's how you get past any of the fogginess, is to listen to thyself. All right, now we also got the sun and moon down there, so it's a new moon. So it's a powerful time for setting new patterns and, beginning anew, so to speak, hence the new home, hence the new move, hence the I'm going to birth something different feeling. And both of these luminaries spend time during the eclipse conjuncting Chiron. And Chiron is the wounded healer. It is that place in our lives where we sometimes feel like we can never resolve the issues, that we just feel hurt, and it feels like the hurt can never go away, and you don't know how to make that go away. And yet I tell you, if you can resolve this, that weakest spot becomes the absolute strongest thing in your life, and it gives you unbelievable strength. It will just be absolutely amazing. And of course, it's a challenge, right? It isn't going to necessarily be easy, and none of these big life challenges are. But we are being called to do that. And when Chiron conjuncts the sun, there is a little bit of feeling of, okay, there's this new me. I quit my job. I got to birth something new. And this feeling of being held back or repressed, or, who am I? And how do I voice this new me? How do I get this new me out? And so it's that feeling of, needing that vital male yang energy of the sun, but feeling kind of restricted and putting it outward. And so you're going to have to get over that hurdle. And, again, just be who you are. And also, it's a call for you to recognize yourself as soul. So, if we all really, truly thought about that, how many of us would stay in hopeless, dead-end jobs for long if you realized that your whole purpose down here was for an evolution of the soul? Okay, how much evolution of the soul do you get in some places? Certainly you get some, but are there other ways where you could let your soul come out, shine, and jump leap years ahead in terms of growth? That's the kind of transformation and change that we are seeking right now. Also, with Chiron conjunct the sun, we're all being called to heal ourselves and to help raise our consciousness level, even just a bit. We're all so human. We all make mistakes, and we're all trying so very hard. And if you have made any mistakes, it's to forgive yourself and to move past that and count that as part of your learning experience. Part of this path is to take your karma and turn it into your dharma, right? So anything that you've learned that's been hard along the way, make that part of your path. Sagittarius, you guys will absolutely understand that. And I just want to say, I really personally feel like destiny is calling to you guys right now. And it wants you to birth this new you, and it wants it to come out on the world stage. It surely does, because this eclipse, which is in the 4th, which reflects up into the 10th, is the house of career and just the world arena. And so the universe wants you to be who you're meant to be and to bring that forth into the world. So it's pretty darn exciting, if you ask me. Also, we've got Chiron at times conjunct the moon down there in the 4th house. And the moon is all about our feelings, our emotions, our gut reactions, our instincts, our fears, our habit patterns. And again, this is a call to, change any habit patterns that we need to release inhibitions, go back into the past if we need to, heal that so that we can move forward. Get in touch with who we are on an emotional level. Listen to our gut instincts. Listen to that soul voice that whispers in our head that we so often stomp on because it doesn't fit our nice, neat little plans. It's begging to be listened to right now, and also to find a way to feel nurtured in this process. I know a lot of you guys are probably scared to death right now, and you may feel like the universe or the world doesn't support you. And in time, it will. You have to put in a lot of hard work and effort, but in time, you will be supported, and you have to have faith and believe in that. And the reason I say that is squaring this whole 4th, 10th axis is Saturn in Sagittarius in your first house. And it's saying, find the truth of who you are and bring it forth. But because it's a square, it is saying, it's going to take effort. It's going to take a lot of effort. You're going to have to work for it. And it's through perseverance that you succeed. Okay? And so don't give up. Reach out to people who can help you and find a way to bring your spirit out to shine. So that's my best message there. And just know that you can do it. If another person has done it, you can do it. Okay? Absolutely. And when we take a look towards the 10th house, here's where we're really going to have a lot of blessings. We've got Jupiter up there, along with the North Node, all in Virgo, currently retrograde. Jupiter's retrograde till May 9th. And both of these planets, are a calling to bring forth who you are out into that worldly stage. And with Jupiter in Virgo, here's just a couple ideas that come to mind. First of all, Jupiter in Virgo has a lot to do with alternative health methods. It's huge for that. And so some of you are being called forth as healers. Maybe you've walked a path yourself where you've used whole foods and herbs and acupuncture and massage and tai chi and, prayer, chanting, meditation, all of this stuff to heal yourself. And that path, again, the old wound, has now made you so much stronger and able to help somebody else who is on that journey. And I say this myself wholeheartedly. 12 years ago, I was slated to die from cancer. Should have died. Should be worm food. I'm not doing great. I fired all my doctors at one point. I had 3 of them. Didn't like how that was going. And I said, you know what? And if I had listened to them, I would be dead. Absolutely. But I had a fierce determination to live. And I used anti-Google. And I got busy. And I researched stuff. And I, in essence, treated myself. And I am here today to tell the tale because of that. So anyhow, there are other people out there like that. And if you've walked that path, then is there a way that you can give back and help somebody else? So one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm writing a book on how I managed to beat the unbeatable. And trust me, it was quite a journey. But nonetheless, here I sit. And so some of you have something like this in your past too. And if you have, this is a great way for you to share that with the world and help people. So that's one option. Now, some of you have a passion, again, for nature. And you have a passion with Jupiter up there, perhaps for writing. So could you be a nature writer? Could you go back to school and become an ecologist? How can you bring forth your words to heal or to help Mother Gaia heal? We need to be so aware of what's going on in the planet right now. I think we're at a point of near destruction, and if we don't change a lot of what we are doing, I do believe the planet itself will heal. I'm not sure we'll be here with it, So we need to make some pretty drastic changes. We need people to be on the forefront of talking about that. We need people to write about that. We need people with science backgrounds who can explain that. We need writers who can capture people's hearts and tell them what's going on. So that sort of thing. Those are a few other options. Some of you may choose to join some humanitarian organization. Again, because of healing, I think of things like Doctors Without Borders, or I love this one, Habitat for Humanity. There's that fourth house, trying to build homes for people, putting that out there on the world stage. Just saying. I mean, these are some good ideas, and I'm sure there's lots of others. I mean, we're all unique. We have individual souls with unique talents and skills, and this is a call for folks to bring those forward, whatever they are. And in truth, I really get the sense that the universe is kind of asking us to marry our will with the divine will and see what pops out. And it's both scary and also exciting, and it can be terrifying. I mean, I quit my job, right? It can be terrifying, but you're trusting that if you do something spirit-filled, that good things are eventually going to happen. So anyhow, there you have it. And with Jupiter opposite Chiron, for you guys, it could even open up new dimensions in your life. The more you let spirit breathe you, wow, I kind of wonder what could come out of us, right? Instead of being in this tiny little ticky-tacky box and ticky-tacky house on a ticky-tacky path, what would we look like if we listened to the inner voice and allowed spirit to breathe us? It's a pretty interesting concept. I'll let you know more as I do this myself. Okay. So another thing that comes to mind with this, you also have that wounded healer down there. And I do want to mention this because sometimes, especially in Pisces, Chiron can have a feeling of, you're feeling blocked connecting to the God force, or feeling blocked connecting to all that is and everyone. And I just want to encourage all of you. I know it's hard sometimes, but we truly all are each other. I do believe that. And we have to learn from each other, learn from our mistakes, see how we interact with people. If we hurt somebody, we in essence hurt ourselves. And I, like everybody, I'm learning this lesson. Look into another soul's eyes, see how you're doing, get a sense of that, and recognize that we really are all one person. And not just one person, but we are as intimately linked with planet Earth as well as the trees, the plants, the rocks, all of our relations, right? So we're in this boat together. So we really, truly do need to figure it out somehow. All right, so anyhow, I'm very excited for you guys. And, perseverance, hard work, you can make it happen. You can birth something exciting and new, and the universe is calling for you to do it. And so listen to that wise soul that you have inside of yourselves. If you find you need help along the way, I am running a special till March 1. It'll be $50 for a 1-hour reading. I will see a lot of your potential within your birth chart because I'll be able to look at your natal planets. This is just kind of a broad overview, but your actual planets and where they are will tell me a lot about your talents and skills and whatnot. So give a call if you want a hand. And also, I would absolutely love to hear from you guys. Let me know what goes down on Eclipse season, March 8th and 9th. Let me know what changes come up for you. I would love to hear from you. And just give me some feedback. And if you appreciate the video, if it helps you in your life, I would love a thumbs up on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel. I have a WordPress blog, Soul Passages Astrology. I would love the support. And I thank you guys ever so much. And I hope you have a wonderful and blessed March. All right, take care.